When my sister decided to leave me off the wedding guest list, I booked myself a vacation instead. Figured if I wasn't welcome at the biggest event in her life, I might as well treat myself to something better. But as soon as things went south with the wedding, my phone started blowing up texts, calls, missed messages from every corner of the family. "It's just a wedding, don't be dramatic," my mom said when she finally got through. "Right? Just a wedding. Let me rewind. I didn't get invited to my own sister's wedding. Not forgotten, excluded. So I made other plans. Took some time off, lined up a trip, and tried to forget about it. But a few days later, my phone lit up like Times Square. I remember staring at one message in particular, reading it over and over. "Hey, just wanted to let you know the guest list is finalized and we had to make some tough cuts. Hope you understand. Love you." Tough cuts. That phrase kept echoing in my head like a joke that wasn't funny. Tough cuts. I wasn't some random second cousin or a distant family friend they hadn't seen in years. I'm her brother. Her actual brother. The same guy who helped her through every messy breakup, every nervous breakdown, every job loss. I was always there. And somehow I didn't make the cut. I just sat there, holding my phone, a weird sense of disbelief creeping in like a slow burn. It almost felt like a prank. I actually laughed, thinking this had to be some kind of mistake. I called my mom right away. She picked up after 2 rings, sounding cheerful. "Hey, sweetie. What's going on?" I didn't waste time with small talk. "I just got a message from Chloe. She says the guest list is finalized and I'm not on it." There was a pause. Not long, but long enough to confirm what I'd already suspected. "Oh honey," she sighed, using that tone she always pulls out when she wants to paint me as the unreasonable one. "It's just a wedding. Don't make a big deal out of it. Just a wedding." That's what she called it. I felt a sharp twist in my gut, hot and bitter. "Are you serious right now?" I said, keeping my voice calm even though I felt anything but. "Mom, I'm her brother. How the hell am I not invited to my own sister's wedding?" She made a little tisk sound like I was a kid whining about bedtime. "It's nothing personal. They had to keep it small and Mom." I cut her off. "I just saw Chloe's Instagram. She invited 150 people." Silence. Then a half laugh that didn't fool anyone. "Well, you know how these things go. Weddings are expensive. Maybe they figured you wouldn't mind sitting this one out." "Wouldn't mind?" That one hit me like a punch to the ribs. "Wouldn't mind?" I repeated, stunned. I've been there for Chloe every step of the way. I helped her move twice. When she lost her job, we covered half her rent. I helped her through her last breakup, remember? And now I'm not even worth a chair and a piece of cake. My mom sighed again, already tired of me. "Stop being so dramatic. It's one day. You're overreacting." I let out a humorless laugh. "Overreacting, huh?" I already knew how the story would go. I'd get upset, she'd dismiss it. Chloe might throw out some half-hearted apology later. And I'd be expected to get over it. Forgive, forget. Same old routine. But not this time. Something cracked inside me, clean and sharp. If I didn't matter enough to be included, then I sure as hell wasn't going to show up when they needed me. I hung up. Didn't say a word. Just started scrolling through my phone. If I wasn't attending a wedding, I'd be soaking up the sun somewhere better. And the more I thought about it, the angrier I got. I'm not the kind of guy who flips out over little things. I've let a lot slide over the years. Chloe's forgotten my birthday more times than I can count. She only calls when she needs something. And our mom? She's always expected me to be the understanding one. Chloe's the golden child. Always gets a pass. But this wasn't a missed call or a forgotten holiday. This was different. This was cold. So I pulled out my laptop and started browsing flights. If Chloe was gonna have her perfect day without me, I was going to have the best damn week of my life. Didn't take long. Within the hour, I booked an all-inclusive stay at a 5-star resort in the Caribbean. Ocean view suite, spa services, private beach, the whole deal. I used to tell myself trips like that were too expensive. But this time, it wasn't just about the vacation. It was about the principle. When the wedding weekend rolled around, I was already cruising at 30,000 feet, sipping champagne in first class. I snapped a photo, legs stretched out, drink in hand, and posted it with a caption. "Guess I didn't make the guest list. Think I'll survive." Reactions came flying in. A few cousins sent laughing emojis. My aunt, the only sane one in the bunch, commented, "Good for you. Should have taken me with you." But the best part? My mom's reaction. She sent 3 texts back to back. "Mom, where are you?" "My mom, are you seriously missing your sister's wedding over this?" "Mother, you're being petty." Petty? I wasn't even close to done. I replied with a single photo, white sand, turquoise waves, and a sky so perfect it looked fake. Then I turned my phone off. I wasn't going to let them guilt me into caring. Not this time. For once in my life, I wasn't putting family first. I was putting me first. And damn, it felt good. By the time I landed in paradise, any trace of guilt had vanished. As I stepped out of the airport, that warm breeze hit me, thick with salt air and the scent of tropical flowers. A private car was already waiting. Sleek black SUV, chilled towels, cold bottled water. Yeah, I was exactly where I was meant to be. This was miles better than any wedding could have been. As the car cruised along the coastline, I couldn't help but feel proud of myself for pulling the trigger on this trip. Back home, the chaos was probably in full swing. The final touches, the rehearsals, the nerves. My mom was likely making excuses for my absence, painting it like I chose to skip it without any real reason. And my sister? She was probably cracking up with her bridesmaids, not sparing me a single thought. But out here? I wasn't an afterthought. I was front and center, my priority for once. The resort looked like something out of a dream. Seriously. The lobby had these towering palm trees growing inside, and everything was designed to let the ocean breeze flow right through. And before I even reached the check-in counter, someone handed me a cocktail. That's the kind of service I could get used to. My room? Absolute paradise. Floor-to-ceiling windows that opened to a private balcony and a bed so massive and perfectly made I almost didn't want to mess it up. I tossed my bags onto a chair, stepped out onto the balcony, and just stood there for a minute, taking it all in, the ocean, the view, the quiet. Then, because I couldn't resist a little poetic justice, I snapped a photo of the scenery and posted it with the caption, "When one door closes, another one opens, ideally to a beachside suite with unlimited margaritas." I wanted them to see it. All of them. I hoped it made its way back to the family group chat. Let them get a taste of what exclusion feels like. And that was just the beginning. The first full day of the trip? Unreal. I kicked it off with room service, fluffy pancakes, fresh tropical fruit, and a cup of coffee so good it officially ruined every other coffee I'd ever had. I didn't have to be anywhere. No errands. No family drama. Just me, the beach, and zero obligations. By midday, I was stretched out on a lounge chair by the infinity pool, martini in hand, watching the waves crash in the distance. Every now and then, I'd glance at my phone, not to check in with anyone, but to read through the comments rolling in on my vacation posts. They were gold. "Cousin Bill, bro, where are you even? Aunt Dana, okay, now you're just showing off. Some guy I knew from college, dude, take me with you next time." But the one notification that really made me smile? "Chloe viewed your post." Oh, so now I had her attention. I pictured her in the bridal suite, sipping cheap champagne, trying to relax before the big walk down the aisle, only to see me living it up in paradise. Perfect. I raised my glass toward the sun and whispered, "Hope your big day's everything you dreamed of, sis." But as the sun began to dip below the horizon, something weird started happening. My phone blew up. At first, I figured it was just more reactions to my photos. But then I saw the names. Mom, Chloe, Bill, even Uncle Frank. One call after another. Texts piling up. I narrowed my eyes and finally unlocked the screen. The first message I saw was from my mom. "Mom, call me. It's an emergency." An emergency? At a wedding? That didn't exactly scream urgent to me. I hesitated, not sure if I even wanted to care. Then Bill sent a follow-up. "Bill, dude, you are not gonna believe what just happened." Okay, now I was curious. I sat up, started scrolling through the messages, and what I saw next. It was like the universe had sent me a gift with a shiny bow on top. Apparently, Chloe's big day went down in flames. And I mean disaster movie levels of flames. "Bill again, bro. You dodged a bullet. Mom, call me right now. This is a family crisis. Chloe, please. Where are you? I need you." I just sat back, grinning, still sipping my cocktail as I scrolled through the chaos. And then I hit the jackpot. Cousin Tara spilled the real tea. Tara, the Nathan left. He straight up walked out. I nearly choked on my drink. Wait, he left? At the wedding? This was better than anything I could have hoped for. I gave in and texted Bill. "Me, what do you mean he left?" "Bill, man, full meltdown at the reception. He and Chloe got into it, huge fight, and then he just dipped. Left the venue. Gone. And it didn't stop there. Bill again. Uncle Frank and Dad started screaming at each other about who was ruining the family name. Grandma Rose started crying. They had to shut the bar down early. Total mess. I leaned back in my chair, soaking it in like sunshine. My sister had decided I didn't belong at her perfect day. And now, with everything falling apart, I was the first one they came running to. I could already hear my mom's voice in my head. "You need to fix this. Chloe's devastated. Yeah, no thanks. Chloe herself finally messaged again. Chloe, answer your phone. Please. I need you. Oh, now I mattered. I took a deep breath, typed out one message, and hit send. Me. Sorry. I'm a little busy enjoying my overreaction. Hope the wedding was fun. And then, I blocked her. Blocked my mom too. And Bill, just in case he started forwarding their pity party my way. After that, I switched my phone to Do Not Disturb, waved the bartender over, and ordered another drink. While the family spiraled, I was sipping cocktails in paradise, and not feeling a shred of guilt. The next morning, I woke up to the sound of waves crashing gently onto the beach. The scent of salt water and blooming flowers drifted in through the open balcony doors. And for the first time in years, I felt completely at peace. I stretched, let out a long yawn, and for one blissful moment, I almost forgot about the chaos unraveling back home. Almost. Then I glanced at my phone. Even though I'd blocked most of my family, I still had over 20 missed calls, random numbers, new angles. They were clearly trying every route to get through to me. A few voicemails even slipped past the block. Against my better judgment, I hit play on the first one. It was Mom, and she was losing it. I don't know what you think you're doing, she snapped, her voice sharp and panicked. But this is not the time for one of your tantrums. Your sister is devastated and we need you here. The family needs to stick together right now. Delete. Next up, Chloe. Her voice was shaky, on the edge of tears. I don't understand why you're doing this. You're my brother. I need you. Please, just call me back. Click. Delete. But the next one, that one actually made me laugh. It was Bill whispering like he was hiding in a closet. Dude, just a heads up. Mom and Aunt Dana are planning to show up at your apartment when you get back. Also, Grandma Rose keeps saying the wedding was cursed because you weren't there. It's kinda hilarious. Okay, that voicemail I saved. I tossed my phone onto the bed and stepped out onto the balcony. The sun was just peeking over the horizon, casting a soft golden glow across the water. I took a deep breath, soaking it all in. Warm air, salty breeze, and the scent of hibiscus drifting in from somewhere. Meanwhile, back home, the family was in panic mode, scrambling to manage the fallout. Me? I was sipping espresso in a hotel robe, watching the waves roll in. And the best part? Now they finally got a taste of what it felt like to be left out, to feel forgotten, to be seen as optional. I picked up my phone again, took a picture of my breakfast, perfect pancakes, vibrant fruit, and a mimosa so bright it could blind someone, and posted it with the caption, "Starting my day stress-free. Hope everyone back home is doing okay." Just for fun, I browsed through my blocked messages, grinning at all the missed calls. Then I ordered another mimosa. I wasn't calling anyone back. They made this mess, they could clean it up. I was on vacation. By midday, I was lounging under a private cabana, drink in hand, gazing out at the ocean when my phone buzzed again. This time it was a text from Tara, my cousin, and one of the only family members who ever really used her brain. Tara, okay, I know you're mad, and honestly you deserve to be, but you have to hear what happened after the wedding. Call me. You're gonna love this. That got my attention. If Tara said something was worth hearing, it probably was. So, for the first time in days, I made a call. She picked up on the first ring. Oh my God. Finally. You're answering, she said, practically squealing. Okay. Are you sitting down? I looked around. Shaded cabana, ocean breeze, cocktail in hand. Yeah. I think I'm in a good spot for some news. She laughed. All right, so after the Nathan left. Oh yeah, he left. Chloe had a meltdown. And I'm not talking just a few tears. I mean full-on screaming, sobbing, chucking stuff across the venue. I smirked. Sounds about right. Tara continued, her voice practically buzzing. So everyone's trying to calm her down. And then your mom overheard Aunt Dana saying this whole mess could have been avoided if you'd been there. I blinked. Wait, what? Yep, she said, giggling. She said you've always been the one who talks Chloe off a ledge, and that you probably could have talked sense into the Nathan or diffused the whole thing before it blew up. I burst out laughing. So let me get this straight. The same family that excluded me is now blaming me for not being there to save the wedding? Oh, it gets better, Tara said. Your mom told Lisa she was being ridiculous. Then they started yelling at each other, loudly. And then Grandma Rose got involved. No, I said, grinning. Don't tell me. Oh yes, Tara cackled. She told Chloe that this was karma, that she'd brought it on herself by leaving out her brother. Grandma Rose literally stood in front of everyone and said, if you had treated your family better, you wouldn't be alone in your wedding dress right now. I had to put my drink down before I spilled it. That's beautiful, I said, still laughing. Oh, and, Tara added, your mom tried calling the Nathan's family to fix things, and his mom basically smiled and said, this is your problem now. I wheezed. Please stop. I can't breathe. She let me catch my breath before asking, so, where does that leave Chloe? Tara sighed, still crying, still blaming everyone but herself. Last I heard, she was scrambling to salvage the wedding with some backup plan. But honestly, there's no bouncing back from that. I took another slow sip of my drink and smiled. You know what the best part is? What? I don't care. Tara burst into laughter. Honestly, I don't blame you. I just thought you'd appreciate knowing that karma showed up right on time. Oh, I love knowing that, I said, smirking. Thanks for the update, Tara. No problem, she replied. Enjoy the rest of your trip. And for the record, you did the right thing. I hung up the phone feeling more satisfied than I had in years. They wanted a wedding without me. And now, thanks to their own pettiness, they had a full-blown disaster instead. I picked up my drink and raised it toward the sky. To family, I muttered. May they never forget this lesson. I raised my glass and toasted to what had clearly become the best decision I've ever made. Then I powered off my phone, leaned back into the cabana's cushions, and let the ocean breeze sweep away any leftover guilt or shame I might have been holding on to. Not that there was much left. For the rest of that day, I didn't so much as glance at my phone. Instead, I booked myself a sunset cruise, the kind where you feel the wind in your hair and the sky turns every shade of fire and gold. Later, I treated myself to a 5-star dinner right by the sea. A steak so perfectly cooked it made me wonder what I'd been doing all my life settling for anything less. Meanwhile, back home, my family was still wading through the wreckage of Chloe's wedding day, picking up the pieces of their perfect little disaster. Me? I was savoring every bite of that steak, every sip of wine, and every second of peace. At some point, a tiny voice in the back of my head whispered, maybe you should feel bad for her. I considered it, then remembered how easily she had cut me out. Not a second thought, not a shred of hesitation. So no pity here. I took one last photo of the view. Moonlight over waves, wine glass in hand. The caption, 0 regrets. Then I smiled, turned off my phone again, and let them stew. I was officially done being the family's backup plan. If they needed someone to fix things, they'd have to look elsewhere. The next morning, I woke up feeling lighter than I had in years. No guilt, no anxiety, no urgent family fires waiting for me to put them out. Just me, the sound of waves brushing the shore, and a full day of nothing but rest on the horizon. I stretched, ordered up room service because why not? And out of pure curiosity, I turned my phone back on. Big mistake. Within seconds, the notifications poured in like floodwater. Mom, you need to stop acting like a child and call me. Chloe, I can't believe you're doing this to me. You are so selfish. Mom again, this isn't funny. Chloe is heartbroken. Do you even care? Unknown number, probably Aunt Dana. We need to fix this family before it's too late. I let out a groan, shaking my head. It was honestly impressive. How fast they pivoted from ignoring me to expecting me to fix everything. Then one message caught my eye. It was from Tara. Tara. Okay. I get that you're ignoring everyone, but please read this. Your mom is trying to pull together a family meeting when you get back. Just a heads up. That made me laugh out loud. They actually thought I'd come waltzing back in like nothing happened? Like I'd show up, smile politely, And let them guilt trip me into pretending none of this ever went down? Yeah. Not gonna happen. I texted Tara back. Me. Thanks for the warning. But I won't be there. A moment later, she replied. Tara. Wait. What do you mean? Me. I'm extending my trip. They wanted to cut me out? Cool. I'm cutting myself off completely. I could practically picture her face. Half surprised, half impressed. A second later, she sent back. Tara, okay, that's iconic. Tell me everything when you get back. Whenever that is, lol. I smirked, set my phone down for a second, then grabbed my laptop. A few clicks later, my trip was officially extended. An extra week. Just me, the ocean, and total silence from the drama squad. No family meetings. No arguments. No guilt. Just peace. And the best part? There was nothing they could do about it. Before I packed up for the beach that morning, I sent one last message to the group thread with Mom and Chloe. Me, oh, so now you want me around? Sorry, I'm too busy enjoying everyone's reactions. Good luck cleaning up your own messes. Then, for the final time, I blocked their numbers. Phone down. Drink ordered. Sun warming my skin. No guilt. No tension. No regrets. Just peace. And yeah, it was absolutely the best decision I've ever made.